Sam Chen stepped off his small trading ship and felt the warm air of Valdris touch his face. The planet was unlike anything he had seen before. Purple crystals grew from the ground like trees, and they glowed with soft light that made everything look magical. The sky was a pale green color, and 2 small moons hung in the afternoon light. Sam was a trader from Earth. He traveled from planet to planet, buying and selling goods. This time, he came to Valdris to talk about mining rights. The humans wanted to dig for rare crystals that could power their ships. The Valdrani people had agreed to meet with him. As Sam walked through the Crystal City, he saw the Valdrani for the first time. They were tall and thin, much taller than humans. Their skin was clear like glass, and he could see veins of light running through their bodies. Each Valdrani had 4 arms, and they moved like dancers when they walked. Their clothes were made of thin fabric that changed colors in the crystal light. The city was beautiful. Buildings grew from the ground like the crystals, reaching high into the sky. Water flowed through channels carved in the crystal streets. Strange musical sounds came from the buildings, created by wind passing through crystal holes. Sam made his way to the trade district. Here, beings from many worlds came to buy and sell. He saw creatures with fur, others with scales, and some that looked like walking plants. The Valdrani merchants were kind and spoke in soft voices. They offered Sam sweet drinks that tasted like flowers. "You are the human trader," said a Valdrani merchant named Vel, "we have heard much about your people. You are very different from us." Sam smiled. "Yes, we are different. But I hope we can work together." Vel nodded with all 4 arms moving in a graceful pattern. "The king wishes to meet you tomorrow. Tonight, you are welcome to stay in our guest house." Sam thanked Vel and walked to the guest house. It was a tall crystal building with rooms that glowed softly. His room had a bed that formed itself to his body and a window that looked out over the city. He could see the royal palace in the distance. It was the tallest building in the city, made of white crystal that sparkled like diamonds. That night, Sam learned about Valdrani culture. They were peaceful people who loved art and music. They had been part of a galactic alliance for over 100 years. They rarely fought wars and preferred to solve problems by talking. The next morning, Sam woke to the sound of crystal bells ringing across the city. He dressed in his best clothes and prepared to meet the king. But as he stepped outside the guest house, he heard different sounds. These were not musical crystal bells. These were alarms. The sky filled with dark ships. They were black and angular, nothing like the smooth Valdrani vessels. Red lights flashed on the ships, and they moved in attack formation toward the city. "Korth raiders," shouted a Valdrani guard who ran past Sam. "Everyone to the shelters." Sam had heard of the Korth Empire. They were a warlike people who attacked peaceful planets to steal resources. Their technology was advanced, and they were fierce fighters. The Galactic Alliance had been fighting them for years, but the Korth kept coming back. Plasma beams shot down from the Korth ships. They hit the crystal buildings and melted them like ice. The beautiful city began to crumble. Valdrani people ran in panic, their 4 arms moving wildly as they sought safety. Sam ran toward the palace. He knew the king would be there, and maybe he could help somehow. As he ran, he saw Valdrani guards fighting the Korth raiders who had landed in the city. The guards fought with grace and skill, but their movements were slow and ceremonial. They used weapons that looked like art pieces, beautiful but not very effective against Korth armor. The Korth raiders wore black metal suits and carried heavy plasma rifles. They moved in formation and showed no mercy. They were shorter than the Valdrani but much more aggressive. Their faces were hidden behind dark helmets, but Sam could hear their rough voices shouting orders. Near the palace, Sam saw something that made his blood run cold. A group of Korth raiders had surrounded a young Valdrani woman. She was different from the others. Her skin glowed brighter, and she wore clothes of silver and blue. Her 4 arms moved in combat patterns, and she fought with more skill than the guards. But she was outnumbered. "Princess Nira," shouted a Valdrani guard who lay wounded nearby. "Run!" So this was the princess. Sam had heard about her. She was the king's only child and heir to the throne. The people loved her because she cared about everyone, rich and poor alike. The princess fought bravely, but the Korth raiders slowly pushed her back toward their transport ship. Sam realized they planned to take her prisoner. In the Korth Empire, royal prisoners were valuable for trade or ransom. Sam looked around for a weapon. Human instincts kicked in. Unlike the Valdrani, humans had evolved from hunters and fighters. Sam's people had survived by being clever and ruthless when necessary. He grabbed a piece of broken crystal from a damaged building. It was sharp and heavy. Then he picked up a metal rod that had fallen from a Korth ship. It was not much, but it would have to do. The Valdrani guards attacked the Korth raiders head-on, as their training taught them. This made them easy targets. Sam did something different. He crept around behind the raiders, using the crystal debris as cover. The first raider never saw Sam coming. Sam struck him in the back of the head with the metal rod. The raider's helmet cracked, and he fell. Sam quickly took the raider's plasma rifle. The other raiders heard the noise and turned around. They were surprised to see a human. Most had never seen one before. "What is that thing?" one raider said in their harsh language. Sam understood basic Korth speech from his trading days. He used their surprise to his advantage. While they stared at him, Sam rolled behind a crystal formation and opened fire. Human combat was not pretty like Valdrani fighting. Sam fought dirty. He aimed for joints in their armor where they were weak. He threw crystal shards to distract them. When one raider's weapon overheated, Sam tackled him and fought hand to hand. The Korth raider was stronger, but Sam was more desperate. He bit, clawed, and used every trick he had learned in the rough parts of human space. The raider was not used to such wild fighting. Sam managed to disable him and take his weapon. Princess Nira watched in amazement. She had never seen anyone fight like this human. He moved without grace but with terrible effectiveness. Where Valdrani combat was like a dance, human combat was like a storm. 2 more raiders came at Sam from different directions. He grabbed Princess Nira's arm with one hand while firing with the other. "Stay behind me," he said in basic Valdrani language. The princess understood. She had studied many languages. "You are the human traitor," she said. "Yes. And right now, I am your best chance to live." Sam fought his way toward a crystal garden behind the palace. The garden had many places to hide and take cover. The raiders followed, but the narrow paths between crystal formations made their group tactics useless. In the garden, Sam used everything around him as weapons. He caused crystal formations to fall and block paths. He reflected plasma beams off crystal surfaces to confuse the raiders. He even used the garden's water channels to short out their equipment. Princess Nira helped by pointing out hidden paths and weak crystal formations. She began to understand human tactics. Where Valdrani would fight with honor and grace, humans fought to win. "Your people are very strange," she told Sam as they hid behind a large crystal flower. "We do what we must to survive," Sam replied. He was breathing hard and bleeding from several small wounds. The sound of more Korth ships filled the air. The battle for the city was getting worse. But Sam had an idea. "Princess, is there a way to the palace armory from here?" "Yes, but it is dangerous. We would have to cross the main courtyard." "Show me." They ran across the courtyard while plasma beams flew over their heads. Valdrani guards and Korth raiders fought all around them. The princess led Sam through a hidden door in the palace wall. Inside the armory, Sam found heavier weapons. He had used similar ones during conflicts in human space. He grabbed an energy cannon and several power cells. Can you use one of these? He asked the princess. She looked at the weapon. It was much heavier and more brutal than Valdrani weapons. But she nodded. I can learn. Sam quickly taught her the basics. Point and shoot. No grace, no ceremony. Just hit the target. They returned to the battle with their new weapons. The energy cannon could punch through Korth armor easily. Sam and Princess Nira worked as a team. She pointed out targets while he fired. When his weapon needed to cool down, she covered him with her smaller weapon. The remaining Korth raiders in the area were not prepared for this new kind of fighting. They had expected to face graceful Valdrani guards, not a brutal human with heavy weapons and a princess willing to fight like a human. One by one, the raiders fell or retreated. Those who tried to escape found their path blocked by fallen crystal formations that Sam had brought down. When the fighting in their area ended, Sam and Princess Nira stood among the defeated raiders. The princess looked at the human with new respect. You saved my life, she said. Sam wiped blood from his face. Anyone would have done the same. No, the princess shook her head. The guards tried to save me with honor and courage. But you saved me with cleverness and determination. You fought like no one I have ever seen. Across the city, the battle continued, but the tide was turning. Other humans in the trade district had joined the fight, bringing their own brutal tactics. The Korth raiders were not used to facing enemies who fought without rules or honor. They began to retreat to their ships. King Thane arrived with the royal guard. He was very tall, even for a Valdrani, and his 4 arms were covered in royal markings. His clear skin glowed with anger and relief when he saw his daughter was safe. Princess Nira, he called out. We feared you were lost. Father, this human saved me. His name is Sam Chen. The king looked at Sam with his large, gentle eyes. He saw the wounds on the human's body and the empty weapon in his hands. Around them lay the evidence of fierce battle. You fought for my daughter though you barely know our people, King Thane said. Sam nodded. She needed help. I was there. The king's 4 arms moved in a complex pattern. Sam did not understand what it meant, but Princess Nira's eyes went wide. Father, no, she said softly. What? Sam asked. King Thane spoke in a formal voice. By the ancient laws of Valdris, whoever saves the royal heir in mortal combat must marry them. This ensures that brave blood will strengthen the royal line. Sam stared at the king. I am sorry, but I do not understand. Princess Nira translated. My father has just declared that you must marry me. It is our most sacred law. Sam felt like the world had suddenly stopped. He had come to Valdris to negotiate mining rights. Now he was supposed to marry a princess he had just met. Your Majesty, Sam said carefully, I am honored, but I am just a trader. I cannot marry your daughter. The king's expression was sad but firm. The law is clear. It has protected our people for 1,000 years. You have proven yourself worthy by your courage and skill. Princess Nira looked at Sam with sympathy. I am sorry. I know this is not what you wanted. But the law cannot be broken. Sam looked around at the crystal city, still smoking from the battle. He thought about his ship, waiting to take him to the next trading post. He thought about his simple life buying and selling goods across the galaxy. Now he was supposed to marry an alien princess and become part of a royal family. The worst part was that he could see the logic in their law. In a dangerous galaxy, royal families needed strong protectors. How long do I have to decide? Sam asked. The law says the ceremony must happen within 7 days, King Thane replied. But there is no decision to make. The law has decided for you. Princess Nira stepped closer to Sam. I know this seems impossible. But perhaps we can find a way to understand each other. You saved my life. I owe you at least a chance to know me before you hate this fate completely. Sam looked into her strange, beautiful eyes. He saw intelligence there, and kindness. She had fought beside him without fear. She had adapted to human tactics quickly. Maybe this situation was not completely hopeless. 7 days, Sam said. 7 days, the princess agreed. King Thane smiled. Good. Tonight we will feast in honor of our defender. Tomorrow, the wedding preparations begin. As they walked back toward the palace, Sam wondered what his life had become. This morning he had been a simple trader. Tonight he would be the guest of honor at a royal feast. In 7 days, he would be married to an alien princess. The crystal city sparkled around them as repair crews began to fix the damage from the battle. Sam realized that his simple life was over. Whatever came next would be more complicated than anything he had ever imagined. But as he walked beside Princess Nira, he had to admit that it might also be more interesting than anything he had ever imagined. The next morning, Sam woke up in a room he had never seen before. The walls were made of white crystal that glowed softly in the morning light. The bed was larger than any bed he had ever slept in, and it was covered with fabric that felt like silk but shimmered with colors. A Valdrani servant entered the room. She was young and moved with the typical grace of her people. Her 4 arms carried a tray of food and a set of royal clothes. "Good morning, Prince Sam," she said with a bow. "I am not a prince," Sam replied, sitting up in the bed. The servant smiled. "You will be tomorrow when you marry Princess Nira. The king has ordered that you be treated as royal family from now until the wedding." Sam looked at the clothes on the tray. They were made of fine fabric in blue and silver, the royal colors of Valdris. The style was Valdrani, designed for someone with 4 arms, but they had been changed to fit a human body. "The princess chose these for you," the servant said. "She studied human clothing styles all night to make sure they would be comfortable." Sam felt a strange feeling in his chest. The princess had stayed awake thinking about his comfort. No one had ever done something like that for him before. After he dressed and ate breakfast, Sam was taken to the royal library. It was a huge room filled with crystal tablets that held information. Princess Nira was waiting for him. She wore a simple dress of green fabric, and her hair was tied back with silver ribbons. "Good morning, Sam," she said. "I thought you might want to learn about our people and our laws." Sam nodded. "I would like that very much." Princess Nira showed him crystal tablets that told the history of Valdris. Sam learned that the royal marriage law had been created during a time called the Dark Wars. Back then, Valdris was attacked by many different enemies. The royal family was weak, and the people suffered. "My ancestor, Queen Lisa, created the law after her daughter was saved by a brave warrior from another world," Princess Nira explained. The warrior married the princess, and their children were both brave and wise. They led Valdris to victory in the Dark Wars. "But that was a long time ago," Sam said. "Things are different now." "Yes, they are different. But the law is sacred. It has been followed for 1,000 years. Sam studied more tablets. He learned that the law had only been used 3 times in history. Each time, the marriage had made the royal family stronger and the kingdom safer. "What about you?" Sam asked. "Do you want to marry me?" Princess Nira was quiet for a long moment. "I have always known that I would marry for the good of my people, not for love. That is the duty of a princess. But I admit, I am curious about you." "Curious how?" "Yesterday, when we fought together, I saw something I had never seen before. Humans are very different from Valdrani. You think in ways that surprise me." Sam smiled. "You surprised me too. Most royalty I have met would never pick up a weapon and fight. My people believe that leaders should protect their followers, not hide while others fight for them." Over the next few days, Sam and Princess Nira spent time together. Sam taught her about human culture and history. He told her about Earth and the other worlds where humans lived. He explained how humans had to fight and struggle to survive on their home world. Your people sound very tough, Princess Nira said. We had to be. Earth was not an easy place to live. We had to fight other humans, dangerous animals, and nature itself. Princess Nira taught Sam about Valdrani art and music. She showed him how the crystals created different sounds when touched in certain ways. She taught him the graceful movements that Valdrani used in their ceremonies. Your people are very peaceful, Sam said. We learned long ago that violence only brings more violence. But sometimes, peace is not enough. Sam was starting to understand Princess Nira better. She was not just a spoiled royal. She was intelligent and cared deeply about her people. She was also braver than many soldiers Sam had known. On the fourth day, their time together was interrupted. King Thane called an emergency meeting. Sam and Princess Nira hurried to the throne room. The king stood before a large crystal screen that showed images from space. Dark ships filled the view. There were hundreds of them, much more than during the first attack. The Korth Empire has sent their full invasion fleet, King Thane announced. They will arrive tomorrow. General Vex, the head of the royal guard, stepped forward. He was old and had fought in many battles. Your Majesty, we cannot defend against so many ships. Our forces are too small. What about the Galactic Alliance? Princess Nira asked. They are fighting Korth forces in 3 other systems. They cannot send help for several days. Sam studied the images on the screen. He counted the ships and estimated their firepower. The situation looked hopeless for the Valdrani. What is your plan? Sam asked General Vex. The general looked surprised that a human was asking military questions. We will gather all our people in the underground shelters. Our remaining ships will fight in space as long as possible. When the Korth land, we will defend the city with all our forces. Sam shook his head. That will not work. Excuse me. General Vex said with anger in his voice. You are planning to fight the way Valdrani have always fought. Honor, courage, direct combat. The Korth know how you fight. They are ready for it. King Thane looked interested. What would you suggest? Sam walked to the crystal screen and pointed at the images. Humans have learned to fight enemies who are stronger than us. We do not fight with honor. We fight to win. Princess Nira stepped beside Sam. Tell us what you mean. The Korth expect you to meet them in open battle. They expect your ships to fight their ships, your soldiers to fight their soldiers. But what if you do something completely different? Over the next several hours, Sam explained human military tactics to the Valdrani leaders. He talked about guerrilla warfare, surprise attacks, and psychological warfare. Many of the ideas shocked the peaceful Valdrani. You want our soldiers to hide and attack from behind? General Vex asked. I want your soldiers to survive and win, Sam replied. Princess Nira understood first. He is right, father. Yesterday, when we fought the raiders, human tactics worked better than our own. King Thane considered carefully. What do you need? Sam smiled. I need Princess Nira to help me train your people. And I need everyone to forget about fighting with honor. That night, Sam and Princess Nira worked together to train the royal guard. Sam taught them to move quietly, to use cover, and to strike quickly before disappearing. Princess Nira helped translate Sam's ideas into methods that Valdrani could understand. The princess was a fast learner. She quickly mastered the new tactics and began teaching them to others. Sam was amazed at how well she adapted to human ways of thinking. You have a talent for this, Sam told her as they practiced combat moves. I am learning from the best teacher, she replied. The next morning, the Korth fleet arrived. Their ships filled the sky like a dark cloud. They sent a message demanding the surrender of Princess Nira and all the planet's crystals. King Thane sent back a message saying that Valdris would never surrender. The invasion began. But this time, the Korth forces found something they did not expect. The Valdrani ships did not meet them in space for an honorable battle. Instead, small groups of Valdrani fighters attacked quickly and then disappeared. They used hit-and-run tactics that confused the Korth commanders. On the ground, Sam and Princess Nira led teams of guards through the Crystal City. They did not try to hold territory. Instead, they moved constantly, attacking Korth positions and then vanishing before the enemy could respond. Princess Nira proved to be an excellent guerrilla fighter. She used her knowledge of the city to find hidden paths and secret ways. She also used her royal authority to organize the common people into support groups. The baker on Crystal Street says there are 12 Korth soldiers in his shop, she reported to Sam. Perfect. We will hit them in 5 minutes, then retreat through the underground passages. Their attacks were small but effective. Each time they destroyed equipment or captured prisoners, they learned more about Korth plans. They also began to demoralize the enemy. The Korth soldiers were used to fighting enemies who faced them directly. They did not know how to deal with attacks that came from unexpected directions. They became nervous and made mistakes. Sam and Princess Nira also worked together to sabotage Korth equipment. Princess Nira knew which crystals powered different systems in the city. Sam knew how to damage technology in ways that would cause the most problems. If we break these power crystals, their communication center will stop working, Princess Nira said. Good. Confused enemies make more mistakes. They snuck into Korth positions at night and planted small explosives that Sam had made from mining equipment. The next day, Korth vehicles broke down, weapons failed, and communication systems went silent. The real breakthrough came when Princess Nira had an idea that combined human tactics with Valdrani abilities. Sam, what if we use our crystal formations as weapons? What do you mean? Princess Nira led him to a large crystal garden near the main Korth camp. These crystals can be tuned to create sound. Very loud sound. Sam understood immediately. Sound weapons. Can you make them loud enough to hurt? Yes. And we can tune them to frequencies that will damage Korth equipment. Working together, Sam and Princess Nira turned the beautiful crystal garden into a weapon. They positioned the crystals to focus sound waves directly at the Korth camp. When they activated the system, the result was devastating. The sound waves shattered Korth armor, disabled their weapons, and caused panic among their troops. The Korth soldiers had never faced anything like it. Retreat, the Korth commander shouted. This planet is defended by devils. But Sam and Princess Nira were not finished. They had learned that the Korth were planning to steal the sacred royal crystals from the palace. These crystals contain the history and culture of the Valdrani people. We cannot let them take our heritage, Princess Nira said. Then we stop them, Sam replied. They gathered their best fighters and planned one final attack. This time, they would not hit and run. They would make a direct assault on the Korth forces at the palace. But they would do it using everything they had learned about combining human and Valdrani tactics. The attack began at sunset. Sam led one group of fighters using human stealth tactics to disable the Korth guards. Princess Nira led another group using modified Valdrani combat techniques to create confusion. In the middle of the battle, Princess Nira and Sam fought side by side. They moved together like dancers, but deadly dancers. She would point out targets with her superior Valdrani senses, and he would eliminate them with human ruthlessness. The Korth forces were completely overwhelmed. They had expected to face either human tactics or Valdrani tactics, but not both at the same time. The combination was too much for them. When the battle ended, the Korth commander requested a meeting under a flag of truce. Your planet fights in ways we have never seen, the commander said to King Thane. We cannot win this war. Then leave our world and do not return, the king replied. We will leave. But first, we wish to know who taught you these new ways of fighting. King Thane smiled. A human traitor who saved my daughter. The Korth commander looked at Sam with respect. Humans are more dangerous than we thought. We will remember this. After the Korth fleet left, the people of Valdris celebrated in the streets. They had won a great victory using new tactics that combined the best of human and Veldrani abilities. In the palace throne room, King Thane called Sam and Princess Nira before him. You have saved our world, the king said. The wedding will proceed tomorrow as planned. But Princess Nira stepped forward. Father, I have been thinking about our ancient laws. What do you mean, daughter? The law says that whoever saves the royal heir in mortal combat must marry them. But Sam has done more than save me. He has saved all of Valdris. Sam looked confused. I do not understand. Princess Nira smiled. The law was created to make the royal family stronger. But what makes a family strong changes with time. 1,000 years ago, we needed warriors. Today, we need allies. King Thane nodded slowly. Continue. I propose that we change the law. Instead of forcing marriage, we should allow the rescuer to choose their reward. If they want marriage, they can have it. If they want something else, they can have that instead. The king thought for a long moment. This is a big change to make. The law was created to protect our people. Today, Sam protected our people in a new way. Should we not adapt our laws to match new realities? Sam felt hope growing in his chest. You would change a 1,000-year-old law. Laws should serve the people, not the other way around, Princess Nira said. What do you want, Sam Chen? What reward would make you happy? Sam looked at the princess. Over the past week, he had grown to respect and care for her. But he also knew that forced marriage would not make either of them happy. I want to create an alliance between humans and Veldrani, Sam said. I want to establish a training program where humans can learn Veldrani ways and Veldrani can learn human ways. And your role in this alliance? King Thane asked. I would like to be the first human ambassador to Valdris. I would live here part of each year and help build understanding between our peoples. Princess Nira smiled. And I would like to be the Veldrani ambassador to human worlds. We could work together to make both our peoples stronger. King Thane stood up from his throne. I hereby declare that the ancient marriage law is changed. From this day forward, anyone who saves a member of the royal family may choose their own reward. The crowd in the throne room cheered. And I choose to accept Sam Chen as our first human ambassador, the king continued. Princess Nira will serve as our first ambassador to human worlds. Sam felt relief and excitement. Your Majesty, this is more than I ever hoped for. You have given us more than we ever hoped for, the king replied. You have shown us new ways to protect our people. Princess Nira walked over to Sam. So we will not be married, but we will still work together. I would like that very much, Sam said. Good. Because I have many ideas about how to improve human and Veldrani cooperation. Sam laughed. I am sure you do. 6 months later, Sam stood in a crystal garden where he and Princess Nira had first created their sound weapon. The garden had been rebuilt and was more beautiful than ever. Princess Nira walked up beside him. She had just returned from a visit to human worlds, where she had been learning about human technology and culture. How was your trip? Sam asked. Fascinating. Humans are even more interesting than I thought. And strange. You have so many different ways of doing things. What did you learn? I learned that humans and Veldrani have more in common than we realized. Both our peoples want to protect their families and build better futures. Sam nodded. And we both learned that sometimes the old ways are not enough. Sometimes you need to try something new. Princess Nira smiled. Yes. Change is not always easy, but it is often necessary. They stood together in comfortable silence, watching the crystal formations catch the light of the setting sun. Both of them knew that their lives had changed completely from that day when Sam had rescued the princess. But both of them also knew that sometimes the best changes come from the most unexpected events.